What's going on, everybody? I'm Ari from Wirefly.com, and I'm here with a quick Wirefly video review of the Palm Pixi for Sprint. And the Pixi is Palm's second phone running WebOS, and here at Wirefly we are calling it the little brother to the Palm Pre because in more ways than not it has the very same functionality as the Pre does, and also the very same gestures and operating system. But does have some downgrades. And right off the bat you can tell that it is a candy bar form factor instead of the Pre's unique sliding form factor. But like I said, a stripped down version of the Pre with no Wi-Fi. It does have a smaller display size, a bit of a downgraded camera on the back, and also a slower processor than the Pre. But it is being positioned as an entry-level smartphone, and for its positioning really has a lot to offer, and we were generally pretty impressed with the Pixi, though we weren't a huge fan of the name Pixi, but we get past that pretty easily. But it is one of the slimmest smartphones that we've come across, and I'll whip out an iPhone just for some depth comparison here. You can see how skinny that is. And also, just to drive that point home, I have a quarter here. So really the Pixi is going to be able to slip in anywhere that you want it to. And we'll start off with a quick look at the Pixi's hardware. And on top here you can see a 3.5mm headphone jack and also your power button right there. And if we flip it to the right, you have a vibrate toggle switch. You can hear that vibrating, and also your volume rocker. Nothing on the left side. On the back you're going to find your 2-megapixel camera and also an LED flash, which is a bit of a downgrade from the Pre and not quite as powerful. And then on the front you can see the keyboard, which is really pretty similar to the keyboard on the Pre. But we actually like the keyboard on the Pixi more than the Pre. It feels a lot more clicky than that of the Pre. And also you'll notice that it is elevated a bit from the phone. So while the Pre's keyboard is slightly elevated, it has to be able to slide under the top of the phone. So these keys are really a lot easier to get at, which makes typing a lot easier. And also the sharp edges on the Pre are obviously not here, so the keyboard's easier to reach. You can also see that the Pixi does not have the ball that the Pre does, which is the gesture area on the Pre. So the gesture area on the Pixi is this area right here, which is hidden when you're not doing anything. But if I swipe left, you can see the light go left. And if I swipe right, you can see the light go right. So very same gestures as the Pre has. And we didn't really miss the hardware ball at all. Just as easy to press it and return to the zoomed out view. So a change, but not a bad change there. And the screen on the Pixi is 2.6 inches, while the Pre screen is 3.1 inches. So certainly a smaller screen, and you do lose 80 pixels. But it didn't really pose any problems as far as usability goes. It's very responsive, easy to tap around and get to the menus we were going for. Although when you are zoomed out in card view, sometimes it was a little hard to read and find what we were going for if we did have a lot of cards open. But really the screen size doesn't make too big of a difference, and it's still a very crisp and colorful screen. And as far as the camera goes, for a 2-megapixel camera, it took pretty decent photos. It's not going to be one of the higher end cameras, but for the price point of the Pixi, it did a decent job, so no complaints on the camera. It'll be what you're expecting for a 2. And you'll notice that the backing on the Pixi is very similar to the backing that comes with the Palm Touchstone charging kit. So it's a matte backing and very slightly rubberized, so not slippery and definitely feels good in the hand. And just like the Pre, the Pixi has 8 gigs of onboard memory, and 7 of those gigs are going to be available for storage space. So a decent amount of memory, but not huge, and there is no capacity for expandable memory. So no micro SD card slot or anything like that. Our review unit here shipped with WebOS version 1.2.9, and we were recently able to upgrade to version 1.3.1 over the air. And if you saw our unboxing, you may have noted that really flipping through cards with what was then version 1.2.9 seemed a lot smoother and quicker on the Pixi than initially on the Pre, although we didn't have our contacts loaded up at that point. So once we loaded up all of our contacts, it still seemed pretty quick, although in actually performing functions, so opening up a new email message, or particularly when we were accessing the web browser, the Pixi did seem to lag a little bit behind the Pre, and even rendering pages, downloading over Sprint's eVideo Rev A network, the Pre really showed its strength there, downloading pages significantly faster on average than the Pixi. But overall, for its entry-level positioning, a pretty powerful smartphone, and we still love the WebOS. And new with WebOS here, you do now have Yahoo integration. So you can see our Yahoo icon there for the messaging service, and you can also integrate your Yahoo Calendar and also Yahoo Contacts through Palm's WebOS Synergy function. So for Yahoo users, that's pretty critical. And also, when the Pixi becomes available, there's going to be a new Facebook app, although the functionality, at least at first, I'd imagine they're going to improve it as they go along. It's going to be pretty basic. You're going to be able to look at your news feed, update your status, and post links and pictures, that kind of thing. But not the major integration we've been seeing with iPhone, and particularly with Android and with the Droid itself, where you could check out status updates and really do fully featured Facebook surfing. But all things considered, we were pretty impressed with the Pixi, and it would definitely be a good pickup for an entry-level smartphone on Sprint's network. I'm Ari from Wirefly.com. Remember to check out the Pixi for what will surely be a great price on Wirefly, and also click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.